The man is uncomfortable with approaching you and getting turned down, then how are you in your business? You get
Yeah.
turned down all the time in your career. That's like a normal thing you have to get over. I've been turned down a million times.
Ew,
You
that's a
have to,
whole
so
nother
that's,
level
yeah,
of
that's what I was thinking. Like,
disgust.
you kind of, like, as a man in your career, you get used to being rejected. So, like, you should be used to it with women. And what, are you going to stop trying now?
Yeah, are
Because
you
then you're not going to be successful in your career. So if you think about it like that, like, you should be comfortable with it's okay because you know a lot of if you make no shots, you're going to get nowhere, and some of the
yeah.
shots are going to turn into success.
I swear these women only sound intelligent to other women because this is an absolutely terrible analogy. First off, in business, your close rate is much higher than the close rate that men or the average man has with the woman. Secondly, when you're in business and getting turned down, it doesn't also come with the cup of humiliation, with the cup of social media blasting, with the cup of you're being a creep, without accusations of sexual accusations. None of these things come with businesses and being turned down in business. And then the other thing is what's different in business is that this is a very small percentage of men that we're talking about that approach women, even in its heyday. The vast majority of men have never been the ones who approach women. That has never been a thing. And secondly, men don't necessarily need women's help on how to approach. We don't need a pep talk. Most men are not approaching not because they're fearful. Most men are approaching because they checked out. They're saying no more of this cat and mouse game with these delusional women. That is what's really happened with men not approaching women. It's very small percentage of men who aren't approaching because of fear.
And once again, he's right. Go follow this guy, man. I follow him on TikTok. He's a good brother here. I'm reading here on TikTok, and it's just a general AI overview. It says there is no single number of swipes for one date, as it varies wildly, but studies suggest an average man might need hundreds to thousands of right swipes for one match, and even more to convert that to a date, with figures ranging from 100 to 200 swipes for a single coffee date for average men, to a massive study finding thousands of swipes for a significant other, heavily depending on attractiveness, profile quality, and app. Okay, so example and statistics, one estimate suggests an average looking man needs 200 right swipes for one coffee date, with most ghosts, meaning potentially 1,000 swipes for a real date, says this Instagram post. A Reddit thread says 0.87, which is what I calculated, about 0.87% success rate for average men, requiring around 115 right swipes for one match. A study cited by Shane Co. found over 3,900 swipes to find a significant other, not just a date. 3,900. And so I'm looking at this here, and it says, as far as sales go, the sweet spot, 5 to 7 touch points is often cited. Now I'm getting terrible at sales, but the sweet spot is 5 to 7 touch points is often cited as the ideal, though some studies point to 8, 10, or even higher. So you got to follow up with somebody multiple times. I'm seeing a Reddit thread here that says it takes an average of 18 calls to close a sale. What the F? Somebody says there was an average of 20 calls, meetings per deal. Now, I want you to say it takes 20 meetings to get one deal. I don't think we even have to do the math on that. But that's a 5% close rate there versus a 0.1% close rate. A 0.1% close rate for men. Thousands of swipes in order to even get a single coffee date. If you say out of 1,000 swipes, 1 in 1,000, that's 0.7. But let's say 1 in 100, you're still at a disadvantage, but whatever. That's a 1% rate. And that's probably going to go down to 0.5. 0.5% if it's 1 in 200. Yeah. 0.5 if it's 1 in 200. So like everybody's saying, her analogy is silly. It's it's silly because it doesn't take into account that most of these modern women think they're tens. They think, oh man, I got it going on. I'm this, I'm that. I'm all of the above. Knowing good and darn well they be out there getting Botox, putting lip filler in their face, heavily made up stuff to make you look thinner and than you really are, and it make you look your butt and your chest look bigger than it actually is, and to give it shape and define it, and then when you get home it don't look nothing like that. Man, come on, doc. Come on, doc.
Watch this. And basically it says men are not obsessed with women like they used to be. Y'all don't find that kind of weird? Honest, no, I don't find that kind of weird, because what exactly is there for men to be obsessed with in today's world? Women have left no room for imagination, none whatsoever. Y'all sense of entitlement is out of control. Y'all expectations are unrealistic. Y'all walk around showing y'all bodies half dressed, half exposed 24/7, out smoking, drinking, partying 24/7, on the scene 24/7. A lot of y'all are not even coming with nothing to the table because you're too busy with your hand out trying to see what man got the next bag so he can sponsor your lifestyle to make you look like you're living on the internet. It's like a lot of y'all don't have common sense. A lot of y'all don't know how to hold a conversation. A lot of y'all don't have no originality about yourselves. Everybody is getting the same body. Everybody is getting the same hairstyle. Everybody looks the exact same. And it's like, y'all get that confused. Oh, well, men like that. No, men will are not wiping that and they're not cuffing that. And I think y'all are starting to realize that. And then the first thing y'all want to say is, oh, well, they're gay, they're sassy. No, they're not. They're just tired of what you guys are presenting. And if y'all are here to give them free looks and free everything they ain't got to work for, why would they? But they're never going to take you serious. So it seems to me like a lot of y'all are now starting to realize that you're either losing value or have lost value from chasing attention. And now that's something that y'all got to deal with, and y'all can't face that fact.
We live in a time where women are marketing themselves more than valuing themselves. All you have to do is scroll. Social media plays a huge role in it because it glorifies it. We see it all the time. People literally putting everything on display. And while some may look your way, that don't mean they're going to stay. Social media and things on the television have made it literally difficult for women. I agree, because they're saying you should look like this, you should dress like this is how you wear your hair, this is what makes you more attractive. So they're really distorting the way you view yourself, the way you should present yourself, make you feel like you're not good enough. That's where your values come into play. You don't always have to be a follower. That's what she said. They're getting the same bodies. They're wearing the same clothes. Everybody looks the same. I mean, can you really say you want respect and you want a man to value you, but at the same time, you're giving everybody access to what you got? When you leave something to the imagination, it sparks curiosity, and that's what keeps you interesting. I never understood why insult a man or say he's sassy because he don't want you. He just don't want you. If you're leading with the physical and that's all you're showing, why would someone look deeper? No one's saying go around looking like a grandma. You can present yourself well without showing everything you got. Have the high standards, but make sure those standards align with what you bring to the table. Make sure you're bringing something deeper than looks, because baby, looks fade. We're going to age. Things aren't going to look the way they used to. Relationships aren't built on what's on the outside. They're built on what's on the inside. Let's be honest. Men do notice women. Men are sight oriented. Automatically notice beauty, whether it's their face, whether it's a body, but they're not obsessed anymore because it's all on display. So they don't have to be. The mystery, the effort, the chase, for what? It's gone. For a lot of men, I would think that takes the excitement away. They no longer have to work for it. You're giving it to them. I'd like to hear your thoughts. Drop your comments. Let me know what you think. Let's go.
And it's unfortunate because, you know, like you said, it's cookie cutter. You've seen one, you've seen them all. And unfortunately, that is the case for a lot of these women. If you've seen one of them, you've seen them all. I think there was a photo or something like that to where it showed a man going out and saying that women are so different, and it was satire. It was a joke because you could look around and see that literally 10 of those women in the same space all had the same blue jean, black shirt combo. And in some cases, it was the same exact shirt, looked like the same exact jeans, just different shapes and sizes. And then they had literally the same shoes on, like the white shoes. And it was crazy. There's no modification. I mean, you're a woman, so you're going to look similar to what other women look like, but have your sense of style. If you're going to wear a black shirt, don't let it be the exact same black short sleeve shirt that she's wearing and all 10 of y'all are wearing. Somebody stand out. Somebody wear a red shirt. Somebody look and see, oh shoot, everybody's wearing a black shirt. Let me go in here. Let me go in the house and get my white shirt or my red shirt or whatever it is. Let me go be different. Not for the sake of being different, but dang. Well, yeah, for the sake of being different, for the sake of standing out. Y'all want your man to stand out from the pack, but then you go be just like the other one. I want a man to be a real man. I want a man to be a part of the 1%. Well, to be a part of the 1%, then you would have to stand out. You would have to do things differently. You'd have to work harder. You would have to make everything look different from what somebody else looks as a man. But then when a man turns around and says, well, I would kind of like the same thing. Oh, you don't like me for me. I don't know if I like you for you or not. because I don't know which is which. You got the same hair color she does. You got the same glasses she does. Same everything. Some of these women, and I'm not kidding with you, some of these women got the same undergarments. They wear the same undergarments, Doc. That ain't crazy to you? The same, all the way down to the socks, Doc. You go get the same glasses, twinsies. You don't think that's weird? You don't think that's suspicious? Bro.
There's a pattern in insecure, ego-driven men that most women don't recognize until it's too late. So let's talk about it. A man who feels you're out of his league will chase you hard in the beginning. Why? Because in the chase, he can still pretend, he can still perform, he can still control the image he wants you to see. But the moment intimacy becomes real, and I'm not talking about sex, I mean emotional closeness, the moment he realizes you're actually seeing him, his insecurity starts screaming. See, ego-driven, self-sabotaging men don't fall in love with you at first. They fall in love with the version of themselves they get to pretend to be in front of you. But real intimacy exposes illusion. When real meets fake, only one of you can stand in the light because he was wearing a mask and you were real. Your authenticity forced him to look at himself, and men like that can't handle their own reflection. So what do? They start resenting you, not because you did anything wrong, but because your depth exposes their emptiness. Your confidence exposes their insecurity. Your stability exposes their chaos. And instead of rising to meet you, they collapse inward. They internalize everything, spiraling into fear. Will she leave me? Does she see through me? Am I enough? Their mind becomes the battlefield they never learned to fight on. And the closer you get, the more the mask slips. You start seeing the cracks, the jealousy, the impulsiveness, the emotional inconsistency, the panic behind the silence. This isn't love. This is insecurity masquerading as connection. A secure man communicates. An insecure man hides. A secure man grows with you. An insecure man self-destructs in front of you. And here's the truth. He didn't lose you because you were too much. He lost you because your real exposed his fake.
They're just going to get on here and say anything. And that's what they're doing. I'll be surprised if she don't have a course to sell. Because that's what they're going to do. They're going to say anything to get that money in. At the expense of their girls. Even though they say they're a girl's girl. Just say that you've run into Chad a time or two. Just say that. And be done with it. Just say that you're out here messing around with guys that you know you probably shouldn't be messing around with. And leave it at that. He's not, all of that stuff that you're talking about, he's not going to care because that man going to be out the door anyway. He's not going to connect with you because he's going to be out the door anyway. So it ain't going to matter. He's not, well, the mask is going to slip. By the time the mask slips, then that man will be gone. That man, you guys don't seem to understand. Chad and Tyrone, they have gotten good. Unless they're just starting their journey, they have gotten good at saying, oh, my time is up. Oh, she's tired of my BS, and moving on to the next. As a matter of fact, they've already moved on. They probably got 2 or 3 of you in rotation. Whose night is it tonight? Cindy's night? Going over to Cindy's house. Oh, Melissa's calling. I'll go over to Melissa's too. Oh, you got Sammy calling. I'll go over Samantha. Great. Fantastic. He might have all of y'all in the same night. And then go from there. I mean, just whatever needs to be done. The game is the game. You know what I mean? So if that man has to work overtime, that's his job. That's his job, to do whatever he needs to do to keep that roster in rotation. Every person has got to play, and I'm dedicated. I'm dedicated to making sure everybody gets playing time. And y'all will sit on that bench until you're called. And then when you're done playing this little game and having these little situationships, that's when you get on mine and start talking about this. Oh, he really didn't want me for me. Well, I'm glad you know that now. This is what we've been trying to tell you. Leave that man alone. But of course, for modern women, I got to do it for the plot. I got to do it for the story. I have to know for sure. I have to have that man cheat on me. I have to have that man run through me, put my head through the mattress before I decide. And I truly understand, oh, dang, that's all he really wanted to do, was put me through the mattress. And to be honest with you, I enjoyed it. But I thought at some point in time that he was going to take me seriously. And he never has. And that's what frustrates me. I thought by giving him all of this stuff, he would at some point in time. Yeah, I was having fun. I thought it felt great once again. But even a little part of me, silly me for thinking it, thought that he was going to really take me seriously. We're going to have fun because that's... See, modern women think that they can move through phases, right? They think that they can move through trends. Oh, we're in this phase where everything is blissful and everything is fun and it's light and it's loose and we're just vibing. We're just vibing. And so right now we're madly in love and passionate and we're just so just enamored with each other. And if he's not enamored with you like that, where he just wants to crawl into your skin and he wants to do all of these things, then, does he really even like you? And then when they're done with that, they move on to, or they want the man to move on to a different part of the relationship where now it's more so, well, I'm in my calm, feminine energy in our relationship. It's just taking on a different tone to where, we're not as obsessed, as we are. Don't get me wrong. We still sleep together and we still have good, passionate intimacy and love. But, it's not like when we were, when we first met, where we were all over the place. We were on the couch. Oh my God, I'm getting hot just talking about it. We were here, we were there, and we were doing this and we were doing that. Now it's more. Now it's. now. Now it's more mature. Now it's more mature and it's settled and it's slow and women are sitting up there eating it up. Women are sitting up there eating that crap up. Listen, that man, as long as you allow him to, will go through all of the phases that you want to go through as long as you keep putting out. If not, I'm going to Melissa's house. End of story.
I think it's kind of offensive if a guy doesn't try to hit on me. But I'm like, what are you doing? What's wrong? It's a little like, did I do have something on my face? What's wrong with you? Are you gay?
Listen, that's
So you're saying that pretty much anyone who interacts who's like single and dating should pretty much at one point or another try to make the move. Okay.
Yeah, you know,
this?
like I mean, I understand like married man, all that, but I feel like if you're in an environment to meet people, why are you not talking to them? Come on. I feel like a lot of why don't guys like walk up to females? You know, like even if they think they're the prettiest, why won't you walk up?
Guy here in the comments said attention and validation is a drug. Another guy says all they want to do is turn you down so they can feel better. Another guy says it's crazy how women told us not to approach them, and since we stopped, now they're confused. Another guy says if you don't give a hint or sign you want to talk, then why would I waste my time just for you to say, "Oh, I'm good"? And this is how a lot of men are thinking. Honestly, it's. I know you like to say it's. They're afraid and they're this and that. They're afraid of rejection, and maybe to some degree they are. But I think most of the time it's risk assessment, man. You guys, if you want to understand why a man is not approaching you, risk assessment. What is the risk? Am I creating a space that is less risky, that is safe for him to approach? Think about, would you go on a coffee date with a man if he was like, we're going to have coffee in the back alley? Yeah, a back alley. Okay, wait. But then he said, because that's already sketchy. But then he says, yeah. And then it's going to be in the dark. You're going to be like, what? And by that time, really on the first one, you probably would have left him. But when he say it's going to be in a back alley and it's dark, and then he says, oh, he's talking in the creepy voice. He's talking in the creepy voice. You can be like, oh, heck no. We're not going to be doing that. That's, no, police. Probably going to call the cops on him. And rightfully so. Because he's doing some weird stuff. That's kind of it. That's the risk assessment that you guys go through. And that's kind of the same general idea that a man is going through when he's saying, do I want to approach this woman? Is she available? Is she giving signs that she's available? Like the one guy said, if you're not giving me a hint, then I'm not approaching you. It's risk assessment. I don't even know if she likes me. She's not giving any hints that she's interested. So I'm just going to stay where I am. Oh, well, just take a chance. No, I'm not doing that. I've done that already. I've taken a chance, and modern women don't seem to like it. So I'm not going to do it anymore. You're living in a world that you created, and now you don't like it. That's the long and short of it. Modern women don't like the world they created. And there was a woman talking about how come men don't ever validate my emotions, and how come he's not as mad as I am about the subject? Because of this right here. Because y'all follow a trend, and y'all get mad and y'all get upset. And then when the trend comes to fruition, like the trend has real world consequences. Oh yeah, I'm gonna hop on the train that says don't approach me. Okay, well, you were listening to a trend and you were following your emotions. Yeah, man, I just feel like in this situation, in that moment, no. And now in this moment, nobody's approaching you. Nobody's approaching you. And that's the long and short of it. And you can only blame yourself.
Struck up a conversation with this girl that was like from Europe, and she was visiting Toronto, and she just was like, by the way, like the men here, they just don't they don't approach you, or like they'll find you attractive and just kind of like do nothing. And I was like, yeah, welcome to Toronto, sis.
Do y'all think that's a product of just society as a whole? Because American women have that same sentiment over the last 5-10 years, been vocal about men not approaching them. So now men are like, all right, well, y'all have been the loudest talking about y'all don't want men to approach us. Don't approach me. Don't talk to me if you see me in public. So now we're following suit, and now it's like, well, y'all not trying to approach. I'm like, which one is it? Like,
I think it's how you approach, though. It's not always just about the approach. I think it's how you approach. Sometimes it comes off a little.
I think it's how attracted you are to the person when they approach you.
I notice women do that too. Like if a man's not attracted and they approach them and they're not interested, they're like, oh, this guy's a creep. But if he's fine now and he comes and it's like, oh, okay, like it's a little different. Yeah.
Well, you notice that too, huh? Well, men have been saying this for literal years because men notice these types of things. Men keep on telling you, man. They keep telling you, hey, it seems like, and the nerve. The nerve of a woman. She's in one of these clips here that I have. Well, maybe not this clip. Maybe I'll go back and find it, because just to listen to her, just talk silly. Got a PhD. I would expect better from you. Oh well, men talk. You should act. If you want a woman, you should listen to her a little bit more often. I do listen to her, which is why I'm able to understand what she's doing versus what she's actually saying, right? When y'all talk about, hey, men are saying that they want this type of woman, and then they're going out and then they're going and looking at this type of woman. Once again, Haley Rochelle has called men out for that. Hey man, stop looking at that type of stuff, right? And as a man, you got to take accountability for that. Okay. But here we are saying, hey, we noticed that you do this type of stuff. You do this, you do that. And by the way, I like your hair, like your makeup and all that stuff. Good on you. Right. But the point is, men say, hey, I noticed that you guys are doing this. No, we would never do that. This is the way that you approach. No, I got my suit on, or whatever you want me to have, I have that on. But you guys just don't want me to approach. Just say that. You guys don't want me to approach you. You don't think I look good. That same thing. And we continue to hear it from modern women. One woman got on here talking about a man just came up to me and he hit me with a cold line, a sick line. And I said no. But if he would have been attractive, then I would have said yeah. But coming from him, then it's creepy. And the line that she said, it was cold. It was a smooth line. Smooth. Oh, I had to tell him I had a boyfriend. So basically, because, he didn't look good to you, then it was creepy. And this is where men get in trouble, because now, like you did, you put it online. And I was like, man, I just trying to come up and say something, but now you're trying to shame me online. For what?
One of the trends that I've been noticing, particularly this year in comparison to previous years, is women are beginning to notice a change in men's behavior, maybe finally, and when it comes to approaching them. Some of them have mentioned men not approaching women in public as much as before, especially like in the workplace, when they're out with their friends, and even like at clubs, and especially with them speed dating events. From your vantage point, why aren't men approaching or chasing women in the way they used to?
I think you know that answer.
Listen, I know, but I also think when men say it, I think a lot of times people, I do think that there is a space where sometimes your word and your perspectives from you, Crimson, Reva, and others, I feel like, and again, I'm not telling you what to give me an answer is. Mm-hmm. I believe, and my audience may believe, but from your vantage point, somebody who's been doing this way longer, who is married and who, has been doing this for quite a while and is very successful. From what you're seeing, what's your vantage point about why it is specifically? Because I think a lot of the ladies are stating men aren't men anymore, men aren't masculine anymore, and all this stuff. And I think that's what they're concluding is why men aren't taking initiative in this area anymore. From your vantage point, why aren't men chasing and approaching women to the same degree?
Well, it's their behavior. It's the behavior, the attitude, the entitlements, the expectations that they have from men these days for relationships is ridiculous, in my opinion. What you expect from a man, the approach. Men are probably one of the reasons they're probably scared to approach because of the attitudes how they might, nobody wants to be. It's one thing, in my opinion, to be what's the word I'm looking for? Rejected. But it's how, a lot of these women are just entitled. They think that they're better than average men. And so if an average man see a woman that he thinks is attractive, he doesn't know what he's going to be met with. She could be like, ew, get away from me. Oh my God. They think that they're too cool for school. Like you can't approach them. If you do, it's like, if they don't like you, it's like, they treat you like you're something ill, something nasty. Like, so if I was a man, I wouldn't approach either. The entitlements, the things that they're asking for, you got to make 6 figures. You got to pay their rent just to take them on a date. Like, who in the hell is doing that? Like, I wouldn't approach you. I mean, it's just ridiculous. I mean, I said if I was a man, or just if I was single and dating in this era, I probably would just be single, because especially being a man, like what? Like that is weird to me. I talk about it all the time. The expectations, pay my rent, pay a bill. I need you to spend money on me without even knowing you. Coffee dates are for what they say, coffee dates or the bare minimum. Like you can't.
What is it? Cheesecake Factory coffee dates are now off limits in a lot of these women's eyes.
Yeah. So why would men continue to go out of their way to try to court or date women who think this way? That's an automatic turn off, in my opinion. Like, hell no, I wouldn't approach you either. I would walk right past you like you're invisible. I don't have time. That is ridiculous. I wouldn't approach you either. So yeah, it's their behavior, their entitlements. They think because they have jobs and a degree that they're better than average men. And so they don't want average men. They want rich men, but they're not getting the rich men. And that's just what it is. You think that average men are beneath you and rich men don't want you.
Average men are beneath you, and most rich, high value men or most in demand men don't even want you, especially not for long term commitment. That's it. Listen, we can stop the interview right there. I loved how you articulated that, because I've said similar things, but I don't think I've approached it in that way. I don't think the ladies realize most of them. I don't say most, actually. I am going to say most.
A lot.
Most of them have made themselves unattractive even to men that they don't want. And I don't think that they realize it. Like, it's not just the men that they want that aren't seeing them as an attractive enough candidate for long-term commitment. It's also all the men that they look past.
Yeah.
Now those men aren't even approaching them to the same degree.
Yeah.
So it's even the men that you were looking down on and the men that you think are below you and he's average and I'm not. No. Even the men that you all are thinking is you would never give a chance to. Listen, ladies, a lot of y'all may hurt your own feelings if you start shooting your shot and seeing if you won't get rejected, because you're right. Men are taking notice, and I understand why this whole manosphere red pill space is so it infuriates women that it even exists.
I don't like it.
There's a creator that I follow, Daron the Chef. And he always clowned, right? So one of the things that he said one day was, I think he went to Costco or something like that. He went to Costco and he looking at all of the meat and stuff that they had. And I think he ran across like some lamb or something like that, some lamb shakes or something. I think it was lobster. And he said, man, $100 and something for this. And it's going to stay there. Basically saying, I'm not going to buy this. You want me to pay $100 for this? It's going to stay there. You have all of this news about, oh man, the housing and the rates are going down. They dropped the lowest that they've dropped in 5 years. And people all in the comments, hey man, I refinanced my home during COVID. I'm not letting go of my 2% 2% rate, and people bragging. Y'all need to shut up. I don't want to hear none of that. Nobody want to hear you brag about what great rate you got. Stop that. No, I'm joking. But they're bragging to say, I know what a good deal looks like. And you guys are telling me that this is a great deal. It's not. You guys don't have nothing going on. And that's what men keep on trying to say to you guys. Y'all don't have nothing going on. I know you try to dress it up. Once again, modern women are the best at PR. They're the best. They can, well, I've got this, I got that. I think there was one woman talking about, well, I got 3 degrees or whatever, and I've just created 3 iOS apps, and I work out, I eat clean, all great things, all fantastic things. But I know a bad deal when I see one. It looks good. Hey, don't you want this house? Hey, you guys can qualify. And then you get in that house and, oh, well, it's new, so it shouldn't have any problems. Well, surprise, surprise. As soon as you sign, as soon as you still moving in. You get all moved in. Everything is great. They tell you they got a warranty that lasts for 30 years. We cover everything, But then as soon as you move in, y'all getting settled. And then one night you watching TV and you hear a loud bang. You hear a loud bang. What's that? And then the husband knows, oh, that's probably the AC. But I'm hoping it's my, and you probably shouldn't, but I'm hoping that's somebody else's AC because we just moved in. We just spent a boatload of money on this house. So you guys just told me that it was a good deal, but it's actually not. Y'all told me, and you look new, but this is actually not good. This is actually cheap quality. When my mother-in-law, her boyfriend, does woodwork, and you go into some of these furniture stores, and some of the stuff that they have, it looks great. It looks fantastic. It's priced really, really well, and you're like, oh man, this is quality. But then you go in there and you see what he does and what he's done in his own home. You're like, oh, I see the difference. I see now I would pay the money that I'm paying for my furniture. I would pay for this. This is worth it. This is sturdy. Now he might go out of business because his stuff is going to last. And so what I pay him, his stuff probably going to last for 30 years. So I'm not going to need to see him anymore because all of the furniture that I bought from him is good quality. Modern women, y'all break. Y'all break easily. Y'all are not good quality. Some of y'all got plastic everywhere. You got silicone and all that other stuff. Once I've seen the real, I can't go back to the fake. I don't want it. You're trying to tell me, you're trying to dress it up, all this stuff. I don't want it. And you're not going to force me to take it either. Well, I just think as a man, I don't care what you think. You fake. Well, why would I be worried?
You want to know the real reason why men reject women? Here are the real reasons, straight to the point. Number one, he just wanted the chase. Some men love the thrill of having to win you over. Once they got that feeling of what it's like to have you, even if they haven't fully gotten you, that thrill is now gone. And if he disappears after you give him access, it was never about you. It was about his ego. Number two, he felt pressure. When a man isn't serious, there are two things that can trigger him. If you call out his inconsistency, or if he senses that you are over pursuing, needy, and making him your whole world. Either way, it forces him to step up, and instead of rising to the occasion, will reject you to avoid the accountability. Number three, you didn't play small. Some men want women who will shrink themselves, who will settle, who will make their entire world about him. The second that you show your standards, boundaries, or your ambition, he sees you as too much. That really just means that the man was not enough, and he knows that he'll never be enough. Number four, he wasn't looking for a relationship. He just wanted the perks. A lot of men reject women. They realize that they can't keep getting the intimacy, validation, and attention without giving commitment. It's up for you to hold your standards if that is something that you really want. Number five, you triggered his insecurities. If a man really feels like you are out of his league, whether that be looks, confidence, or lifestyle success, and he's insecure about himself and where he's at in his life, he might end up rejecting you first to make himself feel like he's in control. So the next time a man rejects you, don't spiral and think, what is wrong with me? Ask yourself, what about me exposed him? Because rejection isn't always a loss. Sometimes it's just a man showing he couldn't measure up.
And to be honest with you, I was hoping that one of those things would be her taking accountability. Like, hey, maybe you weren't the person that he thought you were. Like, maybe there's something that you need to improve on. Maybe there's something that you've shown him that he was like, I don't know about all that. And then he left. That's probably why he did that. But it didn't sound like there was. It just sounded like more blaming the man, more saying that the man is the issue, more saying that, oh, you're enough. You're the prize. You're not the issue. He is. All five reasons is I guess what I'm saying. Not even one reason, not even half a reason to say, now, ladies, I need to take some time out to get on you a little bit. You know, I love you girlies, but you know, we got to stop doing X, Y, and Z. We got to make sure that we're doing this, and this. Nothing. You didn't say any of that. It's all the man's fault. It's all the man's problem. And that's the issue. Every single time something comes up, oh yeah, don't worry about it. It was a man. The man's going to be to blame. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. It's okay, right? And I'm looking at her stuff. I'm looking at what she's got going online, and honestly, she's built a business, which a lot of these modern women do, talking silly, and these women are just going down in a spiral. It is the issue that I have. You're just going down in the spiral. I'm going to coach you. Coach you to do what? Be unsuccessful in relationships? What are we coaching? Like, you don't even have, are you somebody's wife? Are you even a fiance? What are we doing here, man? Like, you sitting up here trying to coach them to, are you trying to coach them to get money? Okay, then go ahead and do that. But it's too many women out here. Just because they look cute, they got a great aesthetic behind them, just because they got their hair and their makeup done, it look like you got your eyebrows done, your eyelashes done, you got a little bit of makeup on, right? And really what y'all are doing is y'all are, once again, it's a great presentation. I'm looking at your profile pic right here. It's a fantastic presentation, right? And you go to her website, she probably paid somebody to do that. And it looks nice. And so I got my coaching, and you get on a call and you book a call, and really all you got to do is BS for about 30 minutes or an hour. And then if you BS long enough, you start getting a BS playbook. Well, here's my book. Buy my book. Here's my course. More BS. Now, if I read this book, is it going to help me get a man? Oh, yeah. Well, it's not going to teach you to get a man, but it's going to teach you to find yourself. And when you find yourself, then that's when you're going to get a man. So I'm going to set and manage your expectations. I'm going to take you away from and distract you from what you actually want. And that's a man, right? But because I look pretty, and psychology says that most people are going to like and feel like good looking people are trustworthy, that's what you're running into right now. Somebody that's relatively pretty, and then, you know, hey, I'm going to buy this, and then I'm going to read it, and then I'm going to say, hey, this, you know, even though I didn't find my man, I can only say good things about her because she made me feel validated. She made me feel nice. I feel seen. Great. We like that you feel seen, but did she achieve the results that you wanted? The answer is no. It's no. So stop buying her stuff. She's not leading you where you want to be. It's just all a bunch of fluff.
Bro, stop saying that being a man is equivalent to providing, because it's not, all right? Being a man is equivalent to protecting what matters, being a spiritual priest of your home. Priest is more important than provider, because righteousness really is what's sexy and what's attractive. And there's a lot of brothers out there, they're building an empire, but they're leaving their families behind. What does it profit a man if he gain the whole world and lose his soul? So the real definition of masculinity ought not be based in something that can be taken from you. What can never be taken from you is your ability to reflect the love of God to your family. I know bills gotta be paid. I know somebody gotta get after it. I know things need to be done. But man, you do all that without God, and he got a way of showing you that you need him. So look, my name is Dr. Myron Edmonds. I help high achieving men win in what matters. And if you feel yourself drifting from what's important, and maybe you don't even know how to be a priest of your home, be a spiritual leader, I got you. Simply just type the word ready in the comments, and let's journey together. Let's actually get good at some stuff that actually has eternal value. All right, peace.
I got this DM a couple weeks ago that says that my logic is like a man's. It lacks empathy and consideration. And although she's wrong, she is onto something. Let's talk about it. See, I have a lot of hard virtues. These are things like truth, justice, fairness, responsibility, rationality, and individualism. These virtues prioritize order, consequences, systems, long-term stability. And if we're being honest, they're typically held up by men. Now, on the other side of that, a lot of women carry soft virtues, which are things like love, grace, mercy, kindness, compassion, and collectivism. These virtues prioritize connection, care, emotional well-being, and social harmony. Now, I am not saying that soft virtues are bad and hard virtues are good. What I'm saying is that in order to be a healthy, balanced person, you need a combination of both. So no, I do not lack empathy. I just hold a lot of hard virtues before my soft virtues. And that's just me, my opinion, and that's okay.
How much do you think I weigh?
I got an answer. torta. Hey, type shit.
That's not a number, actually.
I know.
Do you know your numbers?
You're honestly not even that bad. Like,
do you know your numbers?
I'd say like 180, 160.
You know, torta is actually like a derogatory word.
I didn't mean for that.
You seem quite confident, though.
I was joshing around.
How do you feel about your friend that just called me that?
It made me laugh. I can't lie. 210.
What does torta mean? Here is the Urban Dictionary definition of it if you don't want to take my word for it. A fat B-word who thinks she looks good often shows off her fat ass on Instagram, trapping all the down bads. Damn, bro, who's that torta in your whip? That is the #1 Urban Dictionary definition of it, so I'm not about to argue with you guys again about how that word isn't derogatory to women, okay? Calling women that is not cute.
I caught you, I fucking caught you. Papa Swolio's unfucking defeated. Go to the fucking gym.
So if you ever see a man go from defending himself to just saying, cool, girl, you're in trouble. Don't celebrate that. You did not win. That's detachment. And my sister, you're in trouble. Because that man is over it. He chose peace over proving himself. When a man gets to that place, it's not anger, it's acceptance. He is done. He's done debating what should have been felt. He's done performing for belief. He's done trying to get somebody who doesn't care to understand him because he realizes it's futile. It's never going to work. And here's the thing. Once a man finds peace in his silence, it's going to be so hard to get him to ever argue again. He will watch you argue with yourself and not entertain you. He will listen to you. He will nod. He will look you dead in the face, but he's not going to engage with you because that emotional door, it starts closing.